What's up, YouTube? John, JDS Outdoors. I'm going to do a little public service announcement for this video. I keep seeing tons of people using pressure-treated or green-treated plywood, whatever you want to call it, in your aluminum boats. And also using pressure-treated or green-treated, depends on where you're from and what it's called, as bunks on trailers for aluminum boats. And here's why it's a bad idea. It's because it wrecks your boat. And it doesn't take long to do so. I've repaired tons of them, and I've seen it eat a 1/16 inch of aluminum in 6 months. Then you get the people that say, well, I wrapped it in carpet and I painted it and blah, 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 and my boat's painted. It doesn't matter. It eats through it. See carpeted bunks that are green pressure treated bunks wrapped in carpet eat through the bottom of a painted boat very fast. So, if you want to use wood in your boats, use regular plywood. 7-stranded, regular Baltic ply, and coat it with spar varnish, urethane, some enamel paint, whatever, to help prolong its longevity. Also, I've seen another post or video or something where Lowe's sells pressure-treated plywood that's safe for aluminum, and it says so on their website. Well, that's called marketing. You know, they don't want to make their stuff seem like it's bad, even though it is. I mean, if you want to believe that, then go ahead and wreck your boat. Enough of me talking. You're probably like, yeah, right, John. You know, what do you know? Well, I got some proof. And I don't have just one boat that is wrecked or damaged by pressure-treated wood. I have 2. So, let's check out the first one. You can be the judge for yourself. Here we have a 16-foot, beautiful Northwood aluminum fishing boat with a 60-horse Evinrude on it. Previous owner put a pressure-treated floor in it. Oh, it's okay, though. He wrapped it in carpet right after he painted it. No worries, right? Well, within the first year, he developed a leak. Oh, that's not a big deal. We'll just wrap it in duct tape. Call it a day, right? Yeah, duct tape is going to seal your boat. I don't know if you can see that. There's some holes in the aluminum there. And I actually had one guy say, well, you got to quit hitting stuff. Yeah, that's totally damaged. Totally damaged from hitting a log, you know. Let's go inside the boat. Starting on the opposite side. You see that paint? It's bubbling, peeling, and it's got all this white corrosion on it. That's above where the floor sat. The floor sat right here, and as you can see, it started to eat into this side too. But being hit with water, the chemicals in your plywood, your pressure-treated plywood, splashed up and started eating the paint. Let's go on the other side here, where the hole actually is. Look at that. That wood is just destroying the aluminum through the paint. Look at the holes. There's a nice ridge. Nice ridge right there. From where the plywood was sitting against the hull, wrapped in carpet, painted. Just fine, right? Well, you could probably say, well, I don't believe you. There wasn't pressure treated plywood in that boat because it's all gone. There's no proof there. Oh, no. Come check this one out. Here we have my 15-foot boat I just picked up recently. May look nice and pretty and good. Oh, there's no floor in it. So, there's no damage to this boat. Well, that's where you're wrong. It is damaged. And it is starting to fail in the transom area. Still have my 15 on it. I haven't taken this apart yet because we're going to look at this together. If you look at this transom board It is nice and green, hinting that it's pressure-treated wood. Not just plywood, but wood. Anything that's been pressure-treated or CCA or any of that with your copper in it is not good for your boat. Well, this doesn't look bad, right? You say? Let's come over here. Try to get out of the sun. There we go. See that right there? A little pinhole starting to eat away at the transom. From the inside out. Now you guys can look and see all the bolts are still there. This hasn't been removed yet, but we're going to pop this sucker off and look at it together and show you what your pressure-treated wood is doing with proof to your boats. So I'm going to cut back in after I remove this and show you. So before I go any farther in removing this transom, I want to do two things. One, show you what that pressure-treated wood is doing to these bolts. It's eating them. Look at how thin. Look how thin that sucker is. Just destroying the steel, let alone your aluminum. Also want to prove that I haven't tampered with this, and I'm going to replace it the proper way without having to bend this plate like the last guy did. Is these are brazier head, solid rivets, whatever you want to call them, in the hull. Okay? They got to be ground off, much like I did here. So you can see these rivets are still there. So I'm going to grind those off, and we're going to pull this piece of pressure-treated wood out together. And I actually have no idea how we even got this piece of wood in here without removing those anyways. But I have a suspicion that we will find out. So let's remove it, pull it out together. Well, now I know how we got it in there. In 3 pieces, because that's exactly how you want your brand new transom to be. 3 pieces, right? Anyways, this is going to be ugly back here. You can just see it already. Let's pull this out. All right, I'm going to try my best one-handed. Pull this bad boy out so you can see all that wonderful corrosion starting there. Oh, yeah. First piece of my nice transom. Second piece with some corrosion on it, eating away at that flap. So there we have parts 3 and 4 of our 4-piece transom. See all this white effervescence type stuff? That's the corrosion residue from the aluminum. So let's look at the aluminum now. So you can see the white pitting right there starting to eat through the aluminum. In our other spot, we got pitting right there, and there's our hole. Not much white corrosion around it, but you can see these spots. This transom wasn't in here that long, and it's already eating through the aluminum. I just got this boat not too long ago, and the guy replaced it with an old piece that he had laying around. We might have caught this one soon enough where it's not going to take too much repair. But it's just all this white corrosion eating away at the aluminum. Only a couple pinholes. There's another hole. Another hole right there and right there. And some deep stuff. So it's fixable. But it didn't take long to do that. So, I mean, if that's not enough proof that pressure-treated wood is bad for your boat, I don't know what is. I mean, by all means, keep using it in your boat. Wrecking it. Because I like buying them. They're cheap. This boat was $40 because of the holes. It's a moneymaker. You guys are helping me out. But I'm here to try to help you. And you keep using the excuses. Well, that floor was in there for 20 years and she was just fine. Yeah, I'm sure it was. 20 years ago, they didn't have this issue. 2004, the EPA made the lumber companies take arsenic out of the treating process. So now they had to supplement that so the wood wouldn't rot, and they used copper. Copper and aluminum touching don't work. That's why when they first did this in the early 2000s, I remember this because I work construction, all the aluminum flashing around houses was getting eaten up by this pressure-treated wood. So keep using that excuse if you want. Well, I've been building boats for 40 years, never had any problems. Well, if you only keep a boat for 4 or 5 months and sell it to somebody else, it's their problem, not yours. 40 years ago it was fine. 20 years ago it was fine. 16 years ago it was fine. 15 years ago it wasn't. That's when all this happened. So, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you take this to heart. Or just keep wrecking boats and giving me something to do on the weekends. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, share the hell out of this because there's a lot of people putting pressure-treated wood in their aluminum boats. They could learn something. So as always, thanks for watching.